Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a review roundup. I want to get back into doing more reviews on my channel, and I just gathered up all of the products that I have been testing over the last many months because I haven't been reviewing products on my channel for quite some time. So these are products where I've kind of gotten my thoughts together and I wanted to share them with you. They're not from any particular haul. I do have a lot of products from BoxyCharm, stuff like that in here, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts with you. I don't really have any rhyme or reason to the order in which I want to talk about these products, so let's just talk about the Becca Hydro Mist Set and Refresh Powder. This was a BoxyCharm product. This is made with 50% water, I believe, and the cooling sensation feels so nice in the morning if you're doing your makeup first thing. I absolutely love that sensation, although I do know that that goes away pretty quickly. So this is a product that I'm going to want to pan pretty soon. I only have about half, well, it only came with like half the container full of product. I don't know if everyone's comes like that, but this sets my makeup really nice. I don't find it darkens up my concealer or anything like that. I know some people have problems with, like, as it dries down, it darkening whatever was underneath of it, but I haven't had that problem, so I guess that's lucky. I feel like it sets everything really nicely. I don't find it causes anything to crease very bad, and I really do like that cooling sensation, as I mentioned. Another BoxyCharm product, this is from Touch in Sol. This is their Glassy Skin Balm. I was a little apprehensive about this because I do have more, like, at the time I got this I had oily skin because we got this in the summertime, but I thought I'm going to put that on the back burner until the fall winter and try it then, so I didn't like taint my views of it. This is a very rich moisturizer, but it preps your skin so beautifully for makeup. It does give me a bit of a healthy, luminous glow. It doesn't make me look greasy at all. I find it sinks into the skin really nice, and my makeup just glides on over top of this. I don't know what magic is in here, but I really have been enjoying it. I hope you can see that I've actually used quite a bit of this product. It does have a scent, but it's like a clean skincare kind of scent, which I don't find to be offensive at all. I'm assuming that there are synthetic fragrances in here, but I would have to look that up. I am not like the most knowledgeable when it comes to skincare ingredients, so I'm not even really going to go there. But in terms of my just regular experience using this, I've been really enjoying using this as my morning moisturizer when I'm going to apply makeup on top of this. From Essence, I finally tried the Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara. This is a tinted brow gel with fibers. It's all I have in my brows today, and I really like this for quick, easy, get out the door kind of makeup. I have quite full brows. I do have sparse areas that I really do like to fill in with a pencil or a powder, but if I'm truly in a rush and just want a little bit of something in there, I reach for this over and over again. I would not be surprised if I ran out of this super quickly with how much I've been reaching for this, especially lately, and it holds my brows in place really well as well. Also, my brows are full and unruly, and I really do need a brow gel in them. My favorite is from ABH. That's like Stronghold hairspray for your brows, but for this only being a couple of dollars, this does a really great job. From CoverFX, I have these glitter drops in the shade Nova. This is a BoxyCharm product from last year, and it took me forever to try it because I was honestly scared of this product. It is a liquid glitter meant to be used as like a body highlight or a face highlight. Hopefully you can see, like, it is super metallic. It's quite a dark shade as well, so I wish I wouldn't have even opened this and just passed it along to someone with a deeper skin tone than me. I do feel like this would be stunning all over the body, but I'm a busy mom. One, I'm not showing much skin even in the summertime, and two, I'm picking up toddlers, running around getting groceries, going to the park, not really, you know, taking cute Instagram pictures in times like that where I would want to have like a glittery, shimmery shoulder and like collarbone situation. So it's just not a product for me, and I wish, like I said, I didn't open it. I did try this on my cheekbones as well. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. So it is a little bit dark, but I was willing to make it work. I tried it in the summer when I had more of a tan than I do now. Whew. It was glittery, but I was like, okay, this is pretty. Not my like preference, but I can, you know, see how someone would like it. In like 15 minutes, it was like spreading down my cheeks, like all the glitter was falling. And I looked in the mirror shortly after and I was like, oh my god, I had to take all of my makeup off. Like there was glitter literally across my whole cheek, and it's dark glitter. This is not a product that I would really recommend. If you want that like shimmery body look, there are plenty of those types of products on the market. That's not really what, like the price of this is not worth that in my opinion. Next in the box here, I just have a BoxyCharm box full of products on my lap. This is the Essence Extreme Last base coat. I was in need of a new base coat just because the ones I had were all like dried up and goopy, and I was like, okay, money's a little bit tight, Christmas is coming up, let's just get something super cheap. And this is actually really great. I was completely shocked. This is better than the, I think it was $18 one that I was using previous to this. This has helped my nail polish last so long, and it's easy to remove. Like, I don't find my nails have been getting stained. I have just really been enjoying this. I think it's like $3 or $4. Literally shocked. It does say 80% confirm longer wear. I was trying this little sampler pack of the Tarte Creaseless concealer. I was using fairly light neutral. That's why this one is missing, because all these other shades are too dark for me. This is a great cruelty-free alternative to MAC Pro Longwear, but this is like its more hydrating sister. It has the same consistency, that same like thicker feel, and I find, for me personally, MAC Pro Longwear is not my favorite. I find that it creases and it's a little too thick for my liking. But this has that thick, full coverage feel, a little bit tacky, creases on me, but this gives you a bit more of that like healthy, I don't really want to say like dewy finish, but it's definitely not as matte as MAC Pro Longwear is, but it has the same consistency is what I'm trying to say. So maybe if you like the idea of MAC Pro Longwear but have really dry under eyes, then maybe give this a try. This is not the concealer for me. A little too thick, a little too high coverage for my liking, and I'm glad that I get to try, like there's quite a bit in these little pots. I've used mine for a week and it's still going strong. It's just not a favorite. Also, they really need to work on their light shades. I have fairly light neutral, which is the second fairest shade, and it's much too dark for me. The NYX Ultimate Brights palette. You guys know I just panned this pink shade in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, but because this was pulled into the project, I've spent a lot of time with this palette and using a variety of these shades. I know a lot of people I follow do not love this palette. It's not the greatest quality. The eyeshadows definitely need building up, but that's why I like it. I have been getting into more colorful eyeshadow looks this year. Before that, I was neutral girl 100%, and starting out with a palette like this is really great for me because you don't stamp on too much pigment at one time that you're not able to blend out. This allows you to build up the look slowly and on your terms. You do have to work a little bit with blending. They do get a little patchy if you're blending too aggressively. So if you just take your time, build things up slowly, you can create some really beautiful looks. I do wish that the shimmers were a little more shimmery. They're more like mattes with a touch of glitter in them. Or I wish they would have just made this a 100% matte palette, because that is pretty much how it performs. Overall, I think this is a great beginner palette. If you are just getting into color and are a little bit intimidated by it, or you just like pops of color that are really easy to work with, I would recommend this palette. On the other end of the spectrum, we have this Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. I played with this so much this summer. This is the high pigment, high quality sister to the NYX Ultimate Brights. These shades give you so much impact. They still blend so beautifully, but like if you make a mistake, you need to go in with some makeup remover, because not only do these stain, but you can't take back any color once you stamp it on the eyes. I have like actual dips in multiple shades in here. I hope you can kind of see. I absolutely love this palette. I have been considering Huda Beauty cruelty free since they stopped selling mink lashes, but before I run out and buy a bunch more of their products, I would like a site like Logical Harmony or Leaping Bunny to give their stamp of approval. So while I do consider this cruelty free because it's already in my collection, it's not something that I'm looking to pan and get out of my collection right now, as I'm transitioning my collection to be cruelty free. I still have not been buying products from Huda Beauty until I know for sure. But this palette has just blown me away. I know why everyone loves these Obsessions palettes, and once that they're cruelty free for sure, I will be picking up more of these little 9-pan palettes. The formula is incredible. From CoverFX, I have this Perfector face palette in light medium. This is another BoxyCharm product. This is what the palette looks like. You have 2 highlighters, a bronzer, a blush, a finishing powder, and a brightener. I'm someone with pretty fair skin, and I even tried this in the summer. This highlight over here is much too dark for my skin tone, but would be beautiful on someone with a medium or deeper skin tone. This highlight here only works for me in the middle of the summer with a tan, and this brightener shade is kind of like an inner corner type of shade. I use this as a highlight on my cheekbones, but I really wish that all these pans were the same size, because this finishing powder is Glitter City. Like, I don't understand why this is not like a finishing powder like the Hourglass ones, where it gives you like that healthy luminous glow without the glitter. This gives you that glow, but it's because of the glitter. So I really wish that this pan size was shrunken down and that this one was bigger, so that way we would have a highlight for all skin tones. This is kind of a dead product to me, that finishing powder. The contour is a beautiful natural type of shade, not too dark, and this blush is absolutely stunning as well. CoverFX does powders really well. They're super blendable, they're pigmented without being too much, and overall this palette is really good quality. I just feel like it wasn't as well thought out as maybe it should have been, especially because this is for light to medium skin tone. I know light and fair are different, but there's not a lighter version of this either. So I just wish that we had a lighter actual highlighter. Like, this works, but it's also the smallest pan in this whole palette. Overall, I'm happy to have this in my collection and will continue to use it because the formula is so great. It's not my perfect face palette for those reasons. Another Essence product, this is the Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade 22 Turquoise. This surprised me, not in a great way, but I also still ended up really liking it. So I bought this because I did not have a bright blue, like aqua type of eyeliner, and I really thought it would be fun to play with in the summer, and it really was. However, this has so much shimmer in it, which is not really detectable to the bare eye, like when you're just looking at it, but every time I apply this to my waterline, there is so much shimmer or glitter contained in this pencil, and it lingers. So this is a very long lasting eye pencil. It lasts in my waterline all day, but that also means that glitter is really hard to remove from my waterline. A way that I really do like this, I do like it in my waterline also, but I've also found that I like it as an eyeshadow base for blue looks, to color this all over my lid. I've really been enjoying doing that as well. There is some shimmer on it, but if you're going to top it with a shimmery shade like this one from the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette, these pair so nicely together, and applying the powder shadow on top of this just makes the eyeshadow last a little bit longer. So it's not my perfect light blue eyeliner. I think I'm going to try one from ColourPop maybe, because that's also affordable, but I found a way that I really like to make it work, and it is long lasting. It does what it says on the packaging. I just wish that I noticed that there was so much glitter in it, basically. Like, that could totally be consumer error. Next up, from Billion Dollar Brows, this is the Microblade Effect Brow Pen in the shade Dark. Again, this is from BoxyCharm. You guys know I've gotten most of my makeup this year out of BoxyCharm because I've been on a low buy. This was a really interesting concept. So I've been wanting to try the Urban Decay Brow Blade, but I have a lot of brow products, so I wasn't justifying picking that up. And then I thought this would be a great alternative. I got this in BoxyCharm, so I mean, I pay for BoxyCharm, but I didn't pay the full price for this product. It has like a felt angled tip. It looks kind of like an eyeliner brush, like a small detailed angle, but it has notches in it. The idea is that you could create really fine brow strokes, which is great in theory. I was so excited to try this. Even trying it on my hand, I was like, this is going to look great, especially in the very front of my brows. However, this, like, I cannot even get both brows done with it before the felt part is dry. Even when I like shake it, there's a little shaker thing in here you can hear rattling around. It doesn't get the job done. Like, I'm going to be decluttering this, I think. I'm probably going to try it a few more times just to see if I can get it to work, because the concept of this I'm really intrigued by, but I like finish most of one brow and then it's dry. And then I need to store it upside down. But like, what am I supposed to do with one eyebrow done? It should be able to do both brows before having to be put back in the drawer. So there's definitely some kind of flaw in this. Maybe it's just mine. Maybe mine is just dry. I don't know. If you have this, let me know how you like it. Another BoxyCharm product that we got last year, I finally got a chance to test out pretty thoroughly. This is from Suva Beauty. This is the Protege palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. You have these mauvey cool tones here, and then these really warm tones on the side. I like that they have highlight shades that correspond to both colorways. I wanted to love this palette because I thought it would be really great every day. Like, your look is basically done for you. You have a transition, a shimmery lid, deepen it up in the outer corner, and then an inner corner highlight. But it's not my favorite formula. It's pigmented, but I find it blends out pretty patchy. Like, if I try and go in with this deep purple in aesthetic, for example, in my outer V, I have to constantly be building it up and like blending it with such care that it takes me much longer to do my eyeshadow. It's pigmented almost to a fault. So you apply it, it's pigmented, it looks great, but as soon as you start blending the edges, you start getting that like skipping look. Am I explaining this well? I'm not really sure. So this isn't the worst eyeshadow formula I've ever tried. I'm going to keep it in my collection and try and get as much use out of it as possible. But Suva Beauty eyeshadows, based on my experience in this palette, it's just not my favorite. The concept of it I really love. I love the layout, but the formula itself is not a fave. Lastly, I have the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Prime Essence with Calendula Flower Extract. This is another product I received when my skin was more oily and I wanted to wait until the cooler months to really test it, and I have to say that these two products, both from Touch and Soul, do very similar things for me. It just depends on what texture you would prefer and maybe your skin type. So the Glassy Skin Balm is a very thick, rich moisturizer. It does need time to sink in, but it leaves your skin feeling so glowy, supple, and smooth. And this does a very similar thing, although this claims to shrink pore size, but it's also very hydrating. My makeup applies over top of this very well. This is a super liquidy formula. Like, it runs, you can't really see, runs right down my hand like water. I apply this when I first sit down. It feels like a serum. That's kind of the texture of it. And let it sink in while I do my eye makeup, and I really love the effect that this gives. It also gives you that healthy, dewy skin look, and like I already said, makeup just glides over top of it so well. So I use one or the other when I'm doing my makeup routine. This I kind of like to use as my daytime moisturizer when I'm going to be doing my makeup right away, and this I like to use if maybe it's halfway through the day or I'm redoing my makeup for the day and not redoing all of my skincare. So my skin is still nice and hydrated, but I don't have that, like, I don't overload my skin with too much thick moisture like the Glassy Skin Balm. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes I'm doing my makeup late in the afternoon, and that's when I would reach for a product like this because I already did my morning skincare routine. I keep this in my bathroom and I keep this with my makeup. But depending on what your makeup routine looks like, if you don't film videos in the evening like I do, then you might prefer the Glassy Skin Balm over this Prime Essence. And I really do feel like, I don't feel like it shrinks my pores or fills them in exactly. It's hard to explain, but it almost gives a bit of a blurring effect. Like, when I use this, I don't always feel the need to go in with a pore filling primer over top of it. Alright, so that was a lot of products. This is a long video, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to fit everything in that I've been using over the last couple of months, using and testing that's like new to my collection, in one video because it's been so long since I've done one of these. But definitely let me know if you like this style of video, if you want me to review more frequently and in smaller quantities, because that was a lot of products to talk about today. Leave me any product recommendations down below if you want specific product reviews. Maybe you have seen my unused makeup collection or anything like that. Definitely let me know down in the comments below, and give me a review on a product you've been testing out recently. I love to hear what everyone's thinking about products that they just brought into their collection. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!